Hello everyone. Now I'm going to discuss about the topic characteristics of emotional development. It is a topic for BA second semester education regular course students. This is a topic from the paper Psychology of Adolescence. In this paper, all the chapters are related to different aspects of the period of adolescence, like meaning of adolescence, physical, mental, emotional, social, and personality development that take place at this stage. I have chosen this topic from Unit 4 of the paper. The name of the chapter is Emotional and Personality Development. This particular unit is related to different aspects of emotional and personality development that takes place during the period of adolescence. From that unit, I have chosen the topic Characteristics of Emotional Development for today's discussion. I hope it will help the students for better understanding of the topic. I have already uploaded the study material of the topic in our college portal. Please go through the study material also. Now, let's start. Okay, now let's start with the meaning of emotional development. Emotion plays an important role in life and contribute to the personal and social development of an individual. Emotion influences all the aspects of individual's personality. The word emotion has been derived from the Latin word emovere, which means to move out. Emotional development begins at around the age of 2. It means our emotional development starts at a very early stage. It is one of the major aspects of human growth and development. Our various emotions like love, anger, fear, etc. play a very significant role in the development of a child's personality. Emotional development reaches its maximum during the period of adolescence. The emotions fluctuate very frequently and the current of emotional flow is also very intense. We have noticed that emotional restlessness and instability sometimes makes the boys and girls moody, and sometimes they are depressed, desperate, violent, and delinquent. Okay, now the characteristics of emotional development. The first characteristic is complexity. By the age a child reaches in adolescence, his emotional development becomes very complex. We cannot understand an adolescent by the overt emotional expression. For that we need to go very deeper. Actually, the adolescents learn to conceal his true emotional experience. Then the second point is emotional feelings are widened. There is a great shift in his social sphere. The field of his social relationship widens. Sometimes he is emotionally attached with a hero of his choice. That particular hero may be a historical figure, a politician, a hero or heroine from a film, an other leader according to whom he wants to shape his own life. Then the third point is bearing of tension. Adolescents develop capacity to bear the tension in different social situations. Actually, they develop self-control at this stage. Then the fourth point, capacity of sharing emotion. The adolescents develop the concern about the feeling of others. They are able to relate themselves to another person in such a way that the satisfaction of the other person is as important as his own. The next characteristic is realism in emotional experience. Now, the child enters the world of reality. An adolescent becomes aware of and appreciate people around him. Next point is reviewing of hopes and aspirations. Adolescence is the period of life when one has high hopes and aspirations for his future life. After that, toleration of aloneness. The adolescents develop a feeling of aloneness. We have noticed sometimes the adolescent boys and girls like to be alone in their homes. After that, externalize emotion. The adolescents learn to externalize his feeling in various situations of life. Now he can project his feeling on others also. The last point is increased compassion. Compassion means the ability to associate oneself with any sort of emotional experience of others, whether it is of joy or sorrow. The adolescents can link themselves with the emotional feeling of others. Now we'll discuss about the causes of emotional problems of the adolescents. The first cause is change of role in home, school and society. As soon as the child enters the period of adolescence, his social roles and responsibility also changes. This process of change from total dependence to independent role disturb the adolescent boys and girls. The second point is unfavorable relation in home. Parents in most cases are responsible for emotional disturbance of the adolescent boys and girls because they do not prepare their sons and daughters to meet the problems of adolescence. The third cause is social expectations. When the child reaches adolescence, society expects him to think and act like an adult for which he is not physically and intellectually prepared. The next cause is difficulty in adjustment with members of opposite sex. The adolescent boys and girls feels an attraction towards the members of opposite sex, but they do not understand the correct social behavior, how to make friendship with them. Now the next point is religious conflict. At this stage, the adolescent boys and girls critically examines the religious faiths and beliefs, which leads to conflict in his mind. Then the next point is school failure. School failure causes so much emotional disturbances that many adolescents commit suicide, sometimes they leave home and sometimes they give up education. After that, conflict with friends and family members. Adolescents come in conflict with friends and family members who fail to understand them. Then the next point is vocational problems. The most serious problem for the adolescents, particularly the Indian adolescents, is the problem of future vocation after completion of their education. The next point is high expectation of the parents. The parents want the adolescents to achieve their goals which they could not achieve in their own lives. For this, they do not try to understand the interest and capacity of the adolescents. The last one, sex urge. The adolescents cannot express their sudden rising sexual urge openly. Now we are going to discuss about some common emotion of the adolescents. Firstly, love and affection. The emotion of love is very important in adolescence. The adolescent boys and girls become very closely attached with one another because of this intense feeling of love. Actually, the emotion of love and affection develop from the period of infancy. During infancy, love and affection develop towards concrete objects of the environment. But in adolescence, love and affection is associated with people and sometimes with pets. After that, joy, pleasure and delight. During adolescence, physical condition is one of the source of joy and pleasure. Another common cause of happiness in adolescence is the feeling of superiority. Every adolescent feels insecure and uncertain in life, but any situation that is opposite to these feelings give them happiness. For example, passing the examination with good marks, being elected to students' union, showing good performance in sports and different contests give the feeling of superiority to the adolescents. Another common emotions of adolescence is worry. Worry is an imaginary fear. It is an emotional state in which the disturbing situation is not there in the present state, but it is anticipated in the future. This emotion is referred by some psychologists as anxiety. Some of the common worries from which the adolescents suffer are worry of schoolwork, worry of examination, favoritism by the teacher, worry of failure, lack of understanding with parents, etc. Now the next emotion is fear. Fear is a negative emotion. Fear is learned from the environment in which a child moves. Some of the common fear of adolescents are fear of wild animal, strange noise, fear of meeting people, being alone in the room, fear of speaking in a platform, etc. Now, the next emotion is anger. It is another negative emotion of the adolescents. Some of the factors that leads to anger in adolescence are failure of material objects, teasing by the teacher, parents, elders and friends, Now we will discuss about how can we control and train emotion of the adolescents. Firstly, parents and teachers should try to understand the adolescents' needs. Parents should develop proper attitude towards the adolescent boys and girls. After that, we should encourage adolescents to examine critically the cause of their failure and help them in taking right decision. They should be helped to take right decision to overcome their failure. After that, the third point is we should help the adolescents in developing proper goal. They should be helped to develop proper goal according to their own ability and interest. Then the next point is empathy. It is an essential part of emotional development. Empathy will help the adolescents to build healthy relationship with others and at the same time to understand and manage their own emotion. The next point is measures should be taken to reduce mental tension of the adolescents, which will help healthy emotional development of them. Then variety of interest should be developed to avoid frustration. The adolescent boys and girls should be given opportunity for hobbies, co-curricular activities, etc. Another point is we should provide fair treatment, sympathy, cooperation and freedom of action to the adolescent boys and girls. But there should be some reasonable limit of this freedom. The next point is we must help the adolescent boys and girls in sublimating the emotion of anger and sex through the activities of welfare of the society. Another important point through which we can control and train emotion of the adolescent boys and girls is interesting activities should be organized in school. These activities develop self-confidence of the adolescents. After that, they should be encouraged to express their pent-up emotions. If the adolescent boys and girls do not get opportunity to express these emotions, it may cause so many disturbances to them. Then the next point is we should help children to learn how to regulate and manage their own emotion. Then the last point is we must provide praise and encouragement to the adolescents so that they can build self-confidence and self-esteem. Now, the role of the teacher in training of emotion. It means what role a teacher can play in training of emotion of the adolescent boys and girls. Firstly, the teacher should teach the skill that will enable the child to deal effectively with the threatening aspects of his environment. Then the second point is a teacher can encourage the students to express their emotion in a constructive way. They should be trained to express their emotion to others in whom they have confidence. After that, the teacher should help the students in verbalization of pent-up emotional feelings that will release mental tension. In school, adolescents should be trained in self-control of emotions. They should be given opportunity to participate in activities leading towards acceptance of responsibilities. It will teach them the value of tolerance, cooperation, confidence, etc. Then the teacher may organize picnic, excursions and tours of his students to provide them opportunities to understand each other and come closer. This will resolve many problems of adolescence which are created by lack of communication among the members of the class and school. Now we have come to the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.